Hey, what's up, folks? Welcome back to another 3D Hangouts. My name is Noel Ruiz. I'm a designer here at Adafruit. Join me every week. It's my brother Pedro. Hello.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Pedro, Creative Tech here at Adafruit, and every week we're here to share 3D printed projects featuring electronics from Adafruit.
That's right. This is the show where we combine 3D printing and DIY electronics to make inspirational projects. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. It's episode 484. It is Wednesday, May 28th, 2025. And we got a big show for everybody. We have a new project, a new learn guide, new prototype. We have a shop talk segment, rapid render, Timelapse Tuesday, and community makes, all that. I'm going to try to speed round the morning stuff. So let's just jump right into. Here we go. Hanging out in Adafruit Discord. Please join the Adafruit Discord if you haven't already. The URL for that is at the top banner here, discord.gg/Adafruit. And you can join the many thousands of folks that are tuning in 24 hours a day. Giving some shout outs to folks that are watching live. We are streaming on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, X. Of course, we're hanging out in Discord. Good morning to everybody. Hello, Squid.jpg hanging out. Good to see you. And we'll bring in some chats and comments as they come in. Adafruit.com/free. Go to the website, check out the different tiers. We have 3 of them right now. Check them out. I'll skip going through each one because we have a lot to cover. But I'll make sure to highlight today's 10% discount code, KEYSET, all one word. KEYSET is today's coupon code, good for the next 24 hours. It'll expire tomorrow, so you can use it all day today. 10% off your total order. At checkout, type in KEYSET. You'll be glad you did. And that is the spiel. Oh, my GIF went away. All right, so this is this week's project. It is the USB key set. So let me add it into the stage here with my dash cam. 3D printed key set. It is a USB HID device. It's powered by the RP2040 QTPy board with a couple of CHOC Key Switches. We have these little piano keys, and I'm not going to type anything because it's currently plugged into my computer, and it's going to like type in some letters and words. So let me set up my demo here so folks can check it out. Let's go here. All right, so the idea here is that it is a homage to the original key set that was set way back in 1960s. There was the mother of all demos. Was a presentation that showcased how the future of computing would be. So one of those devices was called a chording keyboard or a USB or a key set, which was the idea that you have just a couple keys and you don't have to move your hand away from it to spell out words, phrases, macros, data type stuff. So here's the demo. So we have individual keys that we press. They just have one single word. So we decided to just come up with some kind of like auto response. Like if you ever get a text message, you have like these auto responses like good, great, cool, awesome, nice. Now here's what happens when you do 2 keys. So these 2 keys put together, it says be right back. We can do another one. It says sounds good. How about this one? See you soon. And let's do 3. What happens when we do 3 chords? Looks good to me. So that's the idea, is to pay homage to the original key set. If folks remember, the Xerox Alto had a very similar design, and this is what I modeled this project after, is the Xerox Alto key set. And mine's a little bit smaller, and it's all 3D printed. Let me go to the full view of it. No support material. It all most of it snap fits. You get a couple screws here for the key rest. Really dig in this USB cable that has like a 360 swivel. Very, very nice. Let me unplug it. It is USB-C because it's a QTPy in there. And it uses CHOC Key Switches. This little plate here can snap off, but it's in there pretty good. But the idea is that it works a lot like a piano hinge. So these all have really nice levers, and they're all actuating the CHOC keys that are inside here. And the QTPy in there is in its own little snap fit holder that gets attached with these screws. You got a couple rubber feet there. Pretty simple assembly. Really liking the feel of these keys. It's got a lot of travel, so it feels really nice, like a real piano key. And of course, it's very clicky because I use the white CHOC keys. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Learn Guide, and we'll walk through the code, the CAD assembly, and all that good stuff. So here is the Learn Guide. I just published it this morning. Thanks to Ann Barella and John Park for moderating it. So I got to give a shout out to Ken Sheriffs, who did this blog post that inspired this. This is the original key set that Ken had the opportunity to get and kind of engineer it so that it works as a USB interface. So here in this blog post, he talks about Eaglebart, who did that infamous demo called the mother of all demos, which showcased using sort of some really out there stuff in 1960, sometime around the 1968 at the Joint Computer Conference. That's where he did this groundbreaking demo that is now known as the mother of all demos. So check it out. This is what it's inspired by. Here's the Palo Alto. I'm sorry, the Palo Alto, the Xerox Alto with its 3-button mouse, its keyboard, and the key set. So there's the key set. It looks just like what I designed because I wanted it to look like that. Because I thought it was
that cool. Green resolution or the ratio of it's like, hey, they predicted the portrait.
Yeah, everything would be portrait. Yeah, everything would be portrait, especially for looking at schematics, right? Like that's pretty cool. So definitely check out that blog post. We definitely wanted to give a nod to Ken and of course other all demos and where it originated from. So it's pretty cool that you can 3D print it these days and have it completely customizable with CircuitPython. So here's a couple of the parts. Everything's in stock. We've got the Kale CHOC low profile key switches. To make it modular in the way that the key plate works is I wanted it to be modular so I can pop them out. So I have these sockets for the CHOC key switches, and that allows me to solder to these little tabs here and just be able to pop in and out the socket. So it is modular. As far as the wiring goes, we're not using any PCBs, so we're doing some free wiring to the pins on the sockets. So I got these really thin silicone cover stranded wires. So just got 2 colors there. And of course, I thought I'd link the USB-C cable, which I am a big fan of. I'm really liking this key. This very cable. Love this cable. It comes in 1 meter and 2 meters. And maybe one day we'll have C to C because everything's turning into C.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's a really good high quality cable. It's silicone sheathing, so it's nice and grippy and rubbery, and it won't like kink or like how some of the braided cables get all nasty when you wrap them up. And it comes with this like this little leather strap thing that's really nice. Yeah, it's actually it's very feels premium quality and for a pretty good price. So I'm digging it. I thought I'd link it, and I'm using it here. All right, onto the circuit diagram. Really straightforward. We just got a couple of signal wires, and everything is being shared grounds. And so we have 1 ground pin going to the QTPy. So that's that there. Here are the CAD files. You got a nice 3D animation that I put together in Fusion 360. Of course, we have a step file that's open, so you can open it in OpenSCAD or Onshape or FreeCAD and muck around with the design if you want to change it, make it bigger, smaller, what have you. I'm really digging the QTPy holder. So if folks want to use that in a different project, it's nice and slim. It makes it easy to just kind of drag and drop in all sorts of QTPys. Also fits the ESP versions of the QTPy too. As far as the printed parts, I have a 3MF file that has everything oriented and colored in 2 different plates, so you can see how everything's oriented. So it's oriented, ready to go. No supports, but you do want to add a brim to the cover. It's got like a slim thing, but I think nowadays like the bamboo slicer just knows to add brim when it sees something thin, so that's nice. 3MF and CAD source, which has the step file if you need it. Fairly large. You need it's kind of medium range, 130 by 110 by 120 volume for your 3D printer. And then if folks want a 3D model of the QTPys or any other boards, we have them in our GitHub's repo. Yeah, this is a lot of fun to put together. I got like some retro synth vibes from the side panels. But pretty cool how it uses built-in tabs to keep the key plate at a distance away from the QTPy. And of course, the way the piano hinges work is it's just a 3D printed dowel that goes through this little built-in kind of hinge that is built into the keys. So you just print the keys out, 5 of them, and then just kind of snap them into the key rest. Pretty cool, pretty simple design. You want to install CircuitPython onto your QTPy. Latest version is 10, alpha 10, I believe, which is nice. And then shout out to Liz Clark for putting together the code. This one was a little bit different because the Adafruit HID keyboard library isn't really built for doing like multiple combinations, but she figured out how to do it. So here in the top of the code, you can see the single key macros and the combination macros are listed here. So those can be changed to whatever you like. And you can update the index numbers if you want to have them in different pins. The pins are laid out here in this order. So that's, relative to the macro index numbers. And then you got a couple of comments here that kind of walks you through what the code is doing. You have to kind of do a little bit of waiting, 80 milliseconds, so that it knows that you selected or that you pressed down multiple keys. So that's why there's a little bit of a millisecond delay in there, but not too bad. It feels pretty responsive. Other than that, it's using the keypad library, which is nice and fast. And here's what the libraries look like. Just use the download bundle button all the way down here, or is it up here? I think it was up here. Yeah, up here. The download project bundle will get the, I think it's only the USB HID library is what you need for this one, but it gets downloaded with the project bundle. So shout out to Liz for putting this together. And yeah, she talks about all the timing stuff here, how the loop is working. And that's a good breakdown of it all working. Yeah. On to the assembly, a couple wires here. So got wire lengths and colors all laid out there. Keypads, they just kind of press fit into the keypad in the right order. And then these key sockets, I haven't actually used them in a project before, so it was nice to use them. But they're pretty simple. They just snap. But they snap into the pins on the CHOC keys. The CHOC Key Switches, of course, have different unique pin arrangement, and these sockets are designed just for those low-profile CHOC keys.
Awesome.
Yeah, so those work. They actually come in a tape reel, which I thought was interesting. You get 5 of them in a pack, and this project uses 5, so it's great. And I think we sell the low-profile key switches in a pack of 10, and we have white and reds, I think. But you can use whatever you like.
Perfect.
Here's how I soldered it together. Just want to be real careful. What's nice is that you can take these off. That's like the whole point, is that you can pop these out if you need to. Really love the OmniFlexo grabbers. I have like 4 of them. They worked so well for this project. So I had to use all 4 of them basically to have my my 2 wires set up and the socket all held. So you don't need to, you can focus on just soldering and then everything's already in place for you. So just, make the arrangement as you see it here, using the blue wires to do all the ground and the white wires to do the signals. Yeah, that's pretty much it there. And then once the sockets are all soldered up to the wires, you can connect the wires to the pins in the right order here. So going from left to right, you can see here A1 through 3. And then we're using the MISO and the MOSI pins on the other side of the QTPy. The 3D printed QTPy holder, you just kind of snap in there. It kind of flexes a bit, and then it's able to grab onto the corners of the QTPy. This is like our standard way to mount a QTPy to a 3D printed enclosure. From there, we're going to secure the QTPy holder to the base, which is pretty much the case. So there's just 2 mounting tabs that you need there. And then you're using some M3 by 6 millimeter long screws. So just going to secure those together. The holes are exactly 3 millimeters, so they're going to bite into the thing. So you don't need any hex nuts because you're kind of creating the thread as you're screwing it in. The key rest is what do you call it? Symmetrical? Yeah, it's symmetrical. So you can install it in whatever way, but there's a dedicated spot for the key rest to snap into. And then you can install it with, secure it rather with those M3 screws. Same length, 6 millimeters short. Installing the dowel just kind of fits through the little circular loop on the bottom of the 3 keys. So that's what they all look like. And then the trick here is to spread the keys apart so that they fit into the little webbings of the key rest. And then the dowel pin just kind of fits into that little crevice there, allowing it to lever. So that's how that works. And then once the keys in the key rest and the dowel are all put together, you can put the key plate over the mounting tabs on the side here, and then just line up the mounting holes, and then just secure some more M3 screws. It's just 2 tabs, and then that way the key plate is secured in place. Here's a little GIF of the way the hinge is working. You can see that it's kind of weird, right? Because like normally key switches have the actuator pointing up, but because we're doing this weird piano hinge thing, they're mounted upside down so that the seesaw effect works, so that it's the other side is like, actuating the CHOC key. So that's a great GIF, I think. And once that's set up and everything's working, all the wires are like, there's a little bit of slack, so you just want to kind of adjust them so they're not being fitted under the actuator. So that's easy enough to do. And then there's plenty of room for the wire access here with the cover snap fitted in there. So there's these little nubs on the inside of the case, and that there's these 2 little posts that you just snap them into, and they snap pretty good. Rubber feet, if you want rubber feet, you don't want those screw heads. They're not countersunk, so you'll want to add these rubber feet that we sell, or use your own. Connect it up, and you're ready to start key setting, chording. You get your chords, and that's pretty much it. That's the whole guide. It's a lot of fun to put together, and I think it's always cool to look at some retro tech and bring it to the modern age.
Super cool. Let's see. Over at some of the questions, we got one from Nikita asking, did you fix the moving keys?
Yeah. They don't really move that much anymore. Maybe there's a little bit of wiggle, but they're pretty good. Yeah, I reduced the tolerances and made it nice and tight now. So yeah, I fixed those. This would be a cool MIDI controller. So easy enough to change the code out to be a MIDI controller as well. Yeah. Yep.
And then later on in the shop talk, we'll talk about how to actually easily add some text to those so you can identify.
Yeah, it would be cool to add
that too.
Something here. So there's a lot of room here to add some notes. You could print something out and stick it there, or if you have a multicolor printer, you can add some notes here with that. So it's all blank there, so folks can add whatever they need to. So yeah, as you saw in the Xerox Alto, they had little sticky notes right here on this area, but you could use this and this. And do also just I love making actually a nice blank slate for folks to just completely go nuts if they want to like make this their own thing.
Beautiful.
So yeah, good set of code and a nice enclosure. Now it's up to folks to make it their own project. Cool.
We got Jump Park in the Discord asking, have you tried finger drumming on these yet?
I have not, but yeah, that would be cool.
And then Yanni saying to make it into a synth keyboard.
Yeah, synth keyboard. That's the next thing. Who wants words when you can do, music notes?
Speaking of words, Nikita asks, are we still playing words?
I'm playing Wordle. Yeah, I play Wordle daily. I play Wordle, Spelling Bee, Strands. What's the other one? Connect with the connect letters. Yeah, I play those. It's New York Times games.
Yeah,
yes, I play those. Anyway, let's go to my Discord. Synth keyboard, multicolor print with some translucent. Yeah, that would be cool.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, do that. And then you can add all sorts of graphics to each of these keys. So you can make them all zebra, cheetah print, or something crazy if you want. Yeah, all sorts of fun stuff. Yeah, cool little project. I love remaking like retro things. Like we did the Bluetooth speaker of the Severance intercom speaker. That was a lot of fun. And these are just really fun shapes to model. Yeah, a lot of fun.
The theme would look right on theme with it and right next to it.
All right. Yeah. I have a little bounce to it too, because the way the spring like kind of pops it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Some aftertouch on here. Yeah. Fun. All right. That is the Learn Guide. If folks want to pick up any of the parts to build your own, please use your coupon code. Get 10% off your order with Keyset. All the parts are in stock currently, which is great. Keyset.
Check it out.
Cool.
All right. Let's go ahead and jump into this week's What Are We Prototyping?
Yeah.
This week on What Are We Prototyping, we continue with the Matrix clock inspired by Labubu. It was requested by PT to make a clock, and we're like, all right, let's go ahead and add the alarm capabilities to it. So here's the design we got for it so far. Did the multicolored printing for the face and the little teeth, and I had to look up what Labubu was. I didn't know. It was a popular toy, one of those collectibles from Hong Kong, and it is a nice little bunny-like creature. So we're basing the design off of that. We have the IS matrix display in here. It's going to scroll by for showing you the timing for it. And then still going to make the little bunny tail for the rotary encoder so we can set the alarm for it.
Little puffy tail.
Yeah, it'll have the QTPy ESP32, the S3, the QTPy S3, so we can grab the time from the internet, and you can set the colors that you want for the display to go on, and as well as the alarm. We have the little, what is it, the 3 watt? No, 4 ohm, 3 watt speaker, and inside you can see how everything is mounted. Didn't get to the QTPy mount yet, but it's just using a modified version of the little mount that we have. And it just allows it to have the stackable QTPy. So we'll have the BFF amp on the bottom to hook up to the speaker. Now it'll just attach to the bottom there on these mounts.
Yeah.
And what else are we missing? I think that's it. Just having that. The Stemma rotary encoder comes pre-soldered, so super easy to hook up. And that will be the IoT matrix clock with alarm.
Yeah.
Both the kids wanting one of these. And
yeah, that's really cool.
Which feed I saw that the somebody was asking, oh, somebody should make an alarm clock where the alarm sound is the sound of your dog throwing up, and that'll wake you up real fast. So
yeah,
that's the MP3 that we'll use for that. Just the dog doing the.
So funny you said that. Our cat did that yesterday morning. It's just like sitting on the couch and saying that. Yeah, that's cool. It'll be USB powered, right? So we'll have the USB plug, so it always stays in. You don't have to worry about battery dying or anything.
Yeah.
You will set the alarm and all that with the rotary encoder. And I don't think I've seen a project with the chained ILF 3709, whatever the LED driver is. But that's a lot of LEDs.
Yep, so they're just chained in there. What other thing I forgot too? The child reminded me the grid for the front panel here. So we'll have the grid display all gridded out.
Yep.
Let's see how that looks. I'm gonna try one of the transparent PLAs, the rainbow one. I think it's like purple and it's like all the dark colors. See how that looks on there.
Yeah, and I think we talked about it last week. The idea is to use the infill as the grid, so you'll be able to customize your grid just by changing the infill percentage.
Yeah.
And just
I don't think it'll line up, but we'll see what it looks like.
yeah, give it a shot. Yeah,
I'm thinking like, I don't know, maybe like do you think like 10%, not triangular, the square grid,
linear,
linear,
yeah. And you can change the way it's like doing the grid.
The
angle, because normally it's like 45-degree angle. So.
Yeah. So that's what we have so far. Quite happy with the multicolor part of it. I think the trick for this was just having it like a 0.2 millimeter cutaway, so it still is flat, but you still have some separation when doing your paint bucket tool inside of Bamboo, instead of having like separate STLs to sort of align inside, which is what we were used to with the Ultimaker, having to have like two, or at this point I think it would have been like 4 different STLs to align and combine together to create this. So inside of Bamboo, we're just using the color tool to assign a color to each face. Definitely a lot more easier.
Yep.
I was gonna say 15 degrees.
Oh yeah, the view angle is a little slight.
Yeah, yep, it's 15 degrees, so you can see that.
Yep. So next week, hopefully, we'll have this is just a little animation of some text scrolling. So imagine 2 of these put together, and you'll see like the clock with some alphanumeric characters.
Yes.
And yeah,
I did not request the rainbow for each digit, so maybe I should go back in the Basecamp and
yeah, she hasn't started it yet.
One
so
thing, one thing that would be a little bit too much, like feature creep, I feel, would be, I don't know, like in between the digits changing, like have a little like eyes blinking or something. But we were saying, maybe we'll leave that up to someone like squid.jpg to add in there as additional features.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's lots of fun stuff you could add and animate and have text scrolling by, or since it is a IoT board, it's Wi-Fi, you can have whatever displayed on there. Sports scores, weather, whatever text, maybe even bitmaps. I don't know. Yeah, so very cool. Sweet. All right, that's hopefully going to be next week's project.
Kid asking, can you sleep without the printers humming?
Oh, that's funny. It's like our white noise.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes. I mean, no. Need the printer running.
Turn up the fan.
Yeah. Cool. Well, if anyone has any cool project ideas, let us know. Squid.jpg has taken the challenge. Yes, awesome. I will do some fun eyes or something. Yeah, love it. Where's my? There it is. Yes, he gave us a salute.
I wish we could pipe in the Discord comments into the on-screen display into the.
Yeah, that would be cool, huh? Yep. All right, let's jump into a real quick shop talk. I got a couple things here. So I am continuing to keep making updates to my motorized camera slider. This update here is I wanted to get a better battery solution. So this is a chonky battery pack. You got 8 AA's here. It is very heavy. And one of the things, it's got a built-in barrel jack. So this plugs into our custom PCB for the motorized camera slider just fine. It's got an on-off switch, which is nice and handy. But the real thing is like, so sure, these are rechargeable batteries, but when I'm using it, I don't know how much battery is remaining. Right, that's kind of a big problem. So I scoured Amazon, and I found this battery pack from a Raptor, and this has a barrel jack, an on and off switch. You have an LED indicator to know how much battery you have left, and then on the back here you can see it is 12 volts. So it can do 12 volts out through the DC jack. It can do 5 volts out of the USB-A port. Has an on-off switch. It has battery protection, so it won't overcharge. So it has like some sort of charging circuit on the inside of this case, and it is light. It is half the weight of this thing, because remember, this is under the camera slider, under the carriage, and it is actually pushing the slide. So I want to reduce the weight of it. So this battery pack seems to work pretty good. It's just that I got myself a male to male or plug to plug DC 2.1 millimeter barrel jack. So I got to go from female to female on the motorized camera slider. But yeah, this is cool. I like this battery pack. I'm designing a little holder for it so that it can just snap into the bottom of the carriage and it's like, again, half the weight, half the size. It's about the same thickness, but the thickness doesn't really matter. It's more about like, how much battery do I have left on my charge? That's the main thing.
That's important. Yeah. Oh, and the weight.
Yep, the weight. Speaking of weight, this ball bearing is what allows the panning portion of the camera slider to move, and this thing is heavy as metal. This is huge. So I been doing some research on some ball bearings, and I found this one, which is an ultra thin ball bearing. It's half the thickness. This is like a couple grams. This is like a half a pound because it is incredibly heavy. It's meant for like really heavy duty things. So I kind of went overkill on this ball bearing because I really didn't know what ball bearings were good. So this is a 6008, and this new one is a 6908. I'll put a link in the description. But if you're doing a project that needs a pretty big ball bearing, these are really, really nice. So let me switch to the main camera here, and then I'll make myself a little bit bigger with this one, and I'll show you that I updated the parts here. So now you can see that it's a lot thinner. Before, there was like double the height here because you had the gear, you could see it. So I was able to reduce the gear because the ball bearing is like this thin instead of this thick. So, and it's like a quarter of the weight. So now you have a lot less, and it's super smooth, and you can't even see the gear anymore. It's just kind of seamless. And the next thing I want to do is I want to reduce these standoffs, so it's just a plate, so it'll be really, really low profile. I also reduced the weight, the length here on these standoffs here, so it's nice and smooth and a lot less weight. Continuing to do these incremental updates to our camera slider. I'll throw up the files once I fine tune them. Maybe I'll make like a playground note as like a 0.1 update or whatever, 0.5 something. You know, it's not a big update. It's the same assembly. It's just like,
I think this makes
different ball bearings.
A really good. I think this is a really good 0.1, 0.5 type.
Yeah, it's like a 0.5
guide as well. Like,
yep.
I was holding off on building one because you kept making all these iterations.
Updates.
Dude,
it's coming out really good. Yep. And of course, you'll have a rechargeable battery pack that's dedicated to it. You'll know what the power is on it. It's hard to find like a 12-volt battery pack that's rechargeable. That was the main thing.
Send me the PCB at least.
Yeah, I'm gonna mail one to you. Yeah, for sure.
Wow, this is really good.
Yeah, man, it's coming out.
These updates
and on the code, as we keep using it, me and Liz are like, it'd be really nice if we had a repeat mode, a repeat function. So at the end of the slide, the idea is you hit repeat, and it just does it again without having to do that. Yeah.
Doing updates to the guide itself with.
Yeah, at some point. Yeah, I definitely will. Wow. Yeah, we just need to get like a minimum MVP out. So that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, John too's planning to build one.
Yeah, I'll send one to you. I have some extra ones, so I'll send one to you, to John, and I think Sophie Wong wants to make one too. So
I mean, this is really good.
Yeah, it's cool. All right, so that is our shop talk. Ball bearings, batteries, light. All right, are we ready for rapid render?
Big old fidget spinner.
Oh, that was cool. Have you seen those props where like there's a giant like thing that spins like a shuriken? Those giant shurikens.
That's what I was gonna say.
Make a really fun.
I forgot his name. No, it was Naruto, right?
Yeah, Naruto. The giant shuriken is like spinning. Yeah, those are dope. Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's go ahead and jump into this week's rapid render.
Yeah. Would you mind setting it up? I got to close the slider here because the lawn maintenance is coming. So I'll be right back.
Let me get that. Let's see. Assets. Rapid render.
My bad.
Oh no, I don't know how to set it up. All right, this week on Rapid Render, we're going to take a look at Airbnb styled isometric icons at B&B Icons. This is a really cool one that specifically sets up little icons that are generated with a text prompt. PT sent this one over, and he had his own prompt to build like a Desk of Lady Ada little graphic for it, and this does a really good job. I like how it's focused on just creating like these icon and what they're saying, the Airbnb style ones, which I was like, what do they mean by Airbnb? And then you know, all the commercials that always show up right before your videos. It's where it's just like a little island looking scene of the house, you know, for the Airbnb. And it does a really good job on, you know, just focusing on generating those types of images with animations. So this is one of the prompts that you made, Noah. The only thing that I added to it was having the animation. So I just appended to your prompt, told it to have the robot waving, like wiggle his ears and like wave hello to the screen. I think what was, let me read just some of it. You told it to generate a robot, simple square body, blue color, lightning bolt icon on the center of the chest, claws for hands, circular white eyes, black pupils, smiling mouth, glowing blue with antenna ears. And the generation for this is pretty quick, almost immediate. I forget what the credits that it starts you off with, but I've already exhausted all of them. So I was only able to go back at the ones that I've already generated before. And here's one of the ones. I just took what PT had generated. And actually what I'm showing here is one of the CSS bugs that they have on the website right now. I thought it had frozen, like it had stopped responding, but all it is the text is just too large. So press, I think it's like Command negative or Command 0. It will scale down the text, and you're able to see the buttons for the rest of the website down here.
The prompt is like a story here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You were very specific.
Workstation.
Yeah, hyper-realistic isometric 3D illustration of the workplace of an MIT engineer, Lamar, sitting inside of a bright maker lab, pink hair. The only thing that I added to it, because if you can see here, it erased the face. So
yeah, her face like gets AI sloppy.
So I added smiling.
Smile on her hand isn't connected to her body. Her hands.
So that's what I added.
That's with like a lot of elements.
Yeah, so that's why I added to PT's prompt.
Right.
So go in here, regenerate it with that, so it knows to add a smile to her face and not, you know, get rid of it. So here's what it was able to generate with it.
Oh, look, an actual body with connected limbs.
And it appears they might have done some updates, not the CSS one, but in terms of how it's generating the image. You can look down here. I had to make the text smaller so you could see the rest of the prompts for the animation. And you can see here that you're able to add that in to have it generate. And all it did here, it didn't really spin it around. It just kind of slightly zooms in. Here's what just went back to show what the animation of your robot, what it generated for that. And that looks
I like how the claws turn into fingers. It's like, now I have fingers.
Oh. I mean, it is a side view of it, so you just didn't.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
but it's cool that you can download.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. Very specific style. I kind of like it. It's a very soft kind of render image.
I like how it's focused on that type of style, so it's able to sort of do a better job in terms of
her hand moves.
I did not notice that.
There it moves. Her head nods a tiny bit. Very subtle. But yeah, this could be cool for maybe you're doing a YouTube video and you need some B-roll or something. You can maybe
for like
to do some stuff.
Yeah, for like segment animations,
Yeah, for your shows. Yeah, if you're doing like a podcast with video, you could have some fun icons to go with your titles.
Yeah. This used to be, I forget the web series where what was it? It was where Dignation was on, where all of those shows on that network had like the same sort of style animation where it would, you know, rotate around a bunch of electronic bits. You could definitely recreate all that here.
Revision.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That
yeah.
was what it's called. Yeah. Cool. So Air, what is it called? BNB Icons. This website. Check it out.
It is your Google login, and then it gives you, I forget how many credits, but I had ran out already. And here's what the pricing structure for that is. Looks like it's 38 credits, but this one's pretty cool in terms of that it's focusing on that style. And then the ones that are generated, you can see what everybody is working on right here. So you can go in there and you know, add animations to things that have already been generated.
Oh, I see.
Are super cool. This looks like one of those websites that we would use when we were doing graphic design for icon inspiration. So even for that, just to scroll around, scroll through, get some ideas.
The render, the look of the render is very like specific to to this isometric icons.
Yeah. Again, super cool that that allows you to download the MP4 or just grab this image and bring it into any of the other sites we featured on Rapid Render to have it generate an actual 3D model and then print or whatnot.
Yeah.
Video game.
Pretty close to our little buddy here.
Right? I wonder if you get specific and like tell it the Pantone color of the hex of the Adabot. It's kind of close. Pretty close. The lightning bolt.
At least the general shape. Adabot's little kid brother.
And that's this week's Rapid Render. All right.
Cool. Good job.
All right, let's go ahead and jump into this week's Community Makes. This week for Timelapse Tuesday, we have this super cool flexible basketball hoop and ball. And the challenge that I wanted to tackle with this one was using NinjaFlex, just regular formulated NinjaFlex, the 85A, the really flexible stuff with the grippies to work on the bamboo printer. And I got the settings right. Yay. First try.
Very nice.
So the other challenge, of course, was making sure that my bed, the PEI sheet was clean to get all these teeny tiny little chained basketball hoop to adhere to the bed. So that was the other challenge, but just cleaning off with Dawn soap. So it specifically tells you on the in the instructions for the bamboo, don't use like alcohol. So I haven't used any of that. So I just use the dishwashing detergent to clean it off, and it stuck really well.
Wow. All right.
Desk camera. Oh, that's yours. Yep. So yeah, everything stuck really well. I should have got a shot of it getting removed from the bed. But,
yeah, how was that?
It looks super cool when you remove it. And it's all, like, you know,
it's all snappy.
And they're so thin. There's like I don't know, like
that's so impressive.
I did a good job on that. Of course, the really impressive thing, for me anyway, was the NinjaFlex. How we're able to get that to work. And I should have requested that you bring up the Bamboo Studio app so we can show where the settings to set up your NinjaFlex for this is.
Yeah. Maybe you could do a playground note, like screenshots so I can try it out. But yeah, so Snap fits together.
Yeah, this is a really cool way to print a sphere without having to use any support material.
Yeah.
Have a little little connector bit like this that just has it sliding in. You can kind of see the slots right here where these little pins get inserted, and then you just twist it into shape. Just line up your little indentations for the ball, and then just turn it, and then there you go. You got a flexible basketball that bounces. And again, this is the soft stuff, so it's always been a challenge to print these, but because it is a direct drive, it does print with retraction, which is super impressive. I didn't even look at what the retraction length was, but I started off with the TPU profile that Bamboo has, and then just adjusted the, what was it, the volumetric speed down to 2 millimeters a second. I think the standard or the default is like 3.2 millimeters a second, and that's just a little bit too fast for printing the softer TPU. So dropping it down to 2 millimeters a second, that's the trick to that. And yeah, again, super. Could not use the AMS. So
no AMS. Just use the
spool
direct
holder on the back.
Spool holder. Yep.
And that worked beautifully. Super cool. No issues with removing it from the PEI sheet.
Nice.
It adhered very well. And yeah, super cool. We'll be printing more stuff with the 85A, and then I did order a couple spools of the AMS compatible TPU to see what the shore hardness of it is, how that is comparably. See if it has any grips or anything like that.
Yep.
So yeah.
So this is elastic, right? So you can like stretch it, and it has a bit of grip.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
That's super cool. And oh yeah, the back of it. I didn't bring the actual piece that screws into the back.
I see. Yeah, it's like a desk clamp thing.
Yeah, and what's cool about this design is that it has multiple ways to actually mount it. So if you want to mount it this way vertically, you can actually. I didn't bring a little tool. This little slot right here is there, so you could poke the inside of it. There's like a little tab that pushes in, so it'll release. So right now it's in there. I can't take it off. I need like tweezers to go in there and push the tab so it'll release to take off, and then you can mount it at a different orientation like that. If you want the clamp to be holding on to something in this orientation, you could remove this and insert it into this slot there. So that's super cool that it has that built into the design, different orientations for mounting.
Yeah.
And then the other cool thing is us being able to put the Adafruit logo so quick on there. Back in the day, like a year ago or whatever, we'd have to import this into Fusion and get an SVG file in there and muck around with, having to export all of these different objects, realign them. But inside of Bamboo Studio, it's so easy. You go into your object mode, you right click on the object that you want to apply the SVG to, and then let's see, you can go down to add part, and then there's a SVG option in there. We added the Adafruit one. I think the ones we were using for like our titles for the video. Import that in there. You adjust your scale. For this one, it was just like 40 millimeters to align to the center of the box there. And then you're going to go into, I think I added that as a modifier. And then the drop down right here is going to bake it into the surface. And the other thing I did was adjust the height of it to 0.8 millimeters, just so that everything prints the black square around it. It all prints at the same height. So there's no going back and forth and changing the colors out. So it's just like one layer of the black, and then it goes back to the white. So you don't have like this giant tall purging tower. And here's what that looks like. Just some manual alignment on it. You can see here that it all lines up, or it didn't align up there. I just adjusted it further in this video here. You can just see that I can do it to, I think it was 0.8 for the depth, and it all lines up. So again, you're just printing everything in unison. So you're not having all these filament swap changes all on one layer.
Yeah, I didn't know it had native SVG support. So
I didn't either. I was just messing around with it. And I was like, oh, this is a perfect spot to add the logo or text or anything like that. So
this would be perfect for the custom icons or text or something on this part. That would be really nice to see too. So that's great. Yeah.
And what's so cool about on your keys with the text is you can go in there and edit the text. You can type in something else,
change it. Make different variants of it. It's editable.
Then beds or set up different plates, so it could be specific to whatever keys that you're printing.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Super
Good tip.
cool.
All right. Nice little shop talk pro tip with the bamboo slicer.
Yeah.
Studio, whatever they call it. Bamboo Studio. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some stuff in there.
Wow.
I feel like we're still just at the tip of the iceberg on the features that you're able to do.
Yeah. Cool.
Let's see, and I think that's it. Sort of combine the Timelapse Tuesday and the shop talk.
Yep. Got a question from Nikita. Is it a star logo? Is the Adafruit logo a star logo? Yes, it is modeled after a star fruit.
Yes.
Yeah. And
kind of looks like a plumeria flower too.
Yeah, it's its own kind of thing. All right. Just gonna do 2 community makes to round out the show. Again, that was Timelapse Tuesday. One thing I almost forgot. Let's go to my browser. And here's the model on MakerWorld.com. Flexible basketball hoop with ball from PrintChallenge. Here's different plates and all the things on printing. Print times are all there. There's some updates recently that they made. Let's see, are they using TPU?
No, it's like the basic PLA is what they're using.
Oh.
That's what I kept getting right there.
Yeah.
How thin the chains are. Dawn dish soap.
Dawn dish soap. Yeah. Heat up the bed, make it 60C if it's still not.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. A lot of makes. That's good to see. A lot of customization. Love people putting their own sports colors and their names. It's a great model for that. And it's just fun to do, you know, a little office desk basketball.
Yeah. I had to print 2 of these.
Yeah, right. They're playing with it. Yeah, what a clever design. Really interesting chain design. Place chain net. And love the basketball, of course. Cool. All right, check it out. Here is a link to everyone in Discord. Check it out. Shout out to PrintChallenge for a free model.
Yeah, I saw someone else post of it. It was like linking to the things and they wanted like to. I think it's like a subscription, right? Where you get like credits each month. It's like
maybe, yeah. It's cool that the clamp is here too. It's really good engineering.
I mean, the multi-orient way that you can use the clamp is super cool.
Yeah, it's clever. Yeah, even just for inspiration on like how to make a good clamp. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. Couple community makes. Starting off with a heat press insert. This was posted up by Nick C. They said printed perfectly, used a common size bearing, and edited the top piece to accommodate the different size. I mounted it to a thin piece of thin sheet of metal and cut to fit the soldering rubber mat on the face to prevent accidental burns. It also helps keeps pieces in place when inserting. So nice.
Good idea.
Full image of it. Yep, looks really good. Definitely good. Glad to see the clamp fits their soldering iron, which is good. Good stuff. The project continues to get made. And then on the prop side, Chris Ostrom posted up their make of the Kingdom Hearts Keyblade from the Kingdom Hearts video game series. And it's just no electronics, just a bunch of parts that snap fit together and have like screw threads. It looks like they finished it. Like they did some sanding and some post-processing, some painting because it looks glossy. Looks nice. And seems to work out pretty good. Yeah. Of course, the source file's out there and folks will resize it and make it fit their printing bed or whatever. So good stuff. It says, very fun project. I love my Keyblade. Yay. Thank you for posting that. All right. And that's this week's community makes. All right, folks. Don't forget, if you do want to pick up anything from the Adafruit shop, please use the coupon code KEYSET. Get you 10% off your order. Appreciate everybody buying stuff from Adafruit. Keeps us going. All right. That is going to do it for us. We did good on timing.
Wow, man.
Yeah. Later tonight, we got show and tell starting at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We invite you to come on the Adafruit Discord so you can join the StreamYard when PT Mr. Lady Ada will post up a link so folks can join and share their projects. And then at 8 p.m. is Ask an Engineer, where we'll hear from Lady Ada, and they'll answer your questions at the end of the show. And more coupon code tonight as well. All right. Got a whole series of shows. Tomorrow is JP's workshop. Tune in to find out what JP is working on. And then Friday is a deep dive with Foamy Guy. He does Fridays at 2 p.m. Pacific or 5 p.m. Eastern, where he deep dives into CircuitPython inner workings. So that's Friday. And then Sundays is Desk of Lady Ada, where she live streams. Last time it was like 10 p.m., which is a little bit later, just like prime Lady Ada time. So those are on Sundays, and then Mondays are the CircuitPython weekly meeting. Tuesdays are JP's product pick of the week, and we wrap around to Wednesdays, where we're here today. All right, one last check. Looks like everyone's good. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching. Hope to see you on Show and Tell tonight. We'll be here next week with a new project, but until then, remember to make a great day.
Day.
Always off sync. Bye, everybody.